kind of in separate news with the Grammys. And if you do any negative reaction when I'm about to say this, then we're just going to move right on to the next topic. So Cardi B had a tantrum on the internet. I didn't actually personally see it.
I didn't see it. I don't follow her.
But you mentioned it when it was happening.
Yeah, because shade room.
Yeah. So what happened? She just...
I think she was actually fighting her own fans.
Yeah.
Because they were mad that she wasn't there at the Grammys. And she's like, I'm home.
Why would she be at the Grammys?
She was nominated, I think, for a few.
For what?
She was nominated.
What music has she released recently?
I think it was like features. I'm pretty sure.
It would have to be features.
Let me see.
Which makes sense to me. Like, but also I feel like it's almost kind of weird in a way if you're like going to the Grammys because of how like the features. You know what I mean?
That's why even like Queen, Queen Nacha, people were like, "Oh, are you gonna go?" I don't think she's nominated for anything, and she was like, "I'm not going to this stuff until like, it really makes sense for me." Like until
It doesn't make sense to go just because you have you're a celebrity. Like it doesn't.
She was nominated for Up. Remember the rap performance?
That was in the last year.
2022. Remember rap performance? It was her. That's what the one Family Ties one.
Oh,
it was the thought.
No, I just feel like Up was so long ago.
No, one if you're up, then it sucked. That was 2021.
Yeah, no.
That was 2021.
I don't know why I feel like that was so much longer.
I think that might have been the only one she was nominated for.
That makes sense then.
She only has one Grammy.
Yeah, and that was like best rap album, right?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's the one that
beat Astroworld. Astroworld wasn't that crazy when you think about it, but anyway. But
yeah, that's all she was nominated for.
Okay, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Like just because you're nominated even doesn't mean you have to go, but like, you know what I mean? Like not, it's like, especially when you get to a certain status level, you might be doing something even more important than just showing up for that trophy. Like Tyler, the Creator, right now, he's on tour, selling out arenas everywhere, touring his album. So he did his acceptance speech for best rap album on Instagram Live. Mm-hmm. So like, it's like you might be doing something more important than the Grammys.
Yeah, her fans are like weird. It's like, I mean, I guess everybody's fan bases are like that, but it's like, why are you so? I guess they want to see the looks, the dress, the runway, the red carpet, and they probably thought she was gonna win for Up. It's like, nah, relax.
Yeah, but because of that, now she's apparently on a social media hiatus. She like deleted her social media or something.
I'm not gonna speak because I'm not famous, but she's too sensitive for fame. Like I think if I had that much money, I would not be bothered about at all by the time. I wouldn't even be on Twitter to see that what people were saying, right? Like why were you even on? And I guess like you can't say that like 'cause we be on social media, like we're human, but it's just like it's a Grammy night. People are probably gonna question why you're not there. Just stay at home, relax. Like you don't need to talk to Twitter. I'm backwards again.
Yeah, I feel like. I don't know. She's still her at the end of the day, so that's why she's like this. Yeah. She would have been like this whether she was rich or not. Probably fighting people on the internet.
Yeah, probably saying worse. Even though she was saying crazy stuff, but I guess they were saying stuff with her kids, so people weren't coming at her. But she was saying stuff like, "I hope your mom dies." I think I don't want to put that on her, but I'm pretty sure she said that. Some crazy stuff, but they would bring up her kids, so off limits.
Yeah, kids are definitely off limits. It's like
these were her own fans too. That's the crazy part.
That is the funny part.
Nicki's fans would never. We would never. I mean, Nicki's fans criticize Nicki all the time, but they don't.
So does Beyonce. I remember one time I think Beyonce spoke out about something, and then the Beehive was like, "Shut up." They were like, I think she was getting mad at the Beehive for like doing something like antagonizing some lady. Yeah. Oh yeah, the one with I think it was the lady that was sitting next to Jay-Z, and then like remember when social media like blew up,
something like that, yeah.
And then the Beehive, and then she might have spoke up and said like, "Yo, y'all gotta relax." Yeah. She was like, "Shut up!" Like the Beehive.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The Beehive was like, "Shut up! Your own fans don't even listen to you." But it's interesting. I feel like. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, if I had a certain level of status, I just would not be inclined to be on the internet. Like,
and she does it so much. That's the thing. Like, it's one thing to like be like, I'm human. I'm about to respond back to this person real quick. But it's another thing that you going back and forth with mad different people. And this is multiple occasions that this has happened with her. fighting with the shade room, like just doing the most.
So I work so hard to get money, like real money. Like she probably has wealthy type money. I wouldn't be on social media because I feel like social media is for people that are bored. And I feel like once you have money, you have too much like money to be bored.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because like the times where I'm scrolling, it's just because we have nothing to do. If I have money, I'll be constantly on the trip. I'll be doing stuff just like random, right? Like going to the spa. Like I just wouldn't be on my phone like that.
Yeah.
Even though I guess that's the kind of opposite though. Because when you do have money, you have more time. You're not working. You are probably bored more.
Or you should work on your craft.
Yeah, right. You should go work on your album. Go work on some music. Go do something.
Or just chill with your kids.
Yeah, or watch a movie.
There's so many different things you could do.
Go in her hot tub
But complaining about people on Twitter is definitely not the vibes.
And maybe she do need to be on social media then for a while.
Yeah, because you don't need it, especially once you get to a certain status. For her though, that's like so much a part of her brand.
Yeah, and she still needs it. Because that's what keeps her relevant is like her jokes and her obnoxious videos.
Yeah, it helps. Like it would definitely devalue her brand overall if she deleted her social media. But like if it's that bothersome, like I would just delete it.
Yeah, and it's probably not a permanent delete.
Social media don't matter. I don't know what. Oh God, it's so crazy to me. It really doesn't matter anymore.
Nah, it's kind of like that saying where I hate to bring this up, but when people are like, "How do you get virtual? What is it like online bullying?" Like, how do you get bullied? Like online bullied? Like they just turn the computer on.
That was Tyler the Creator's quote.
Just turn.
Like, how is cyberbullying?
Oh yeah,
real?
cyberbullying is the word.
He said, just look away from the screen.
Yeah, cause it is kind of crazy. It's like, not saying that everybody doesn't have the right to enjoy social media, but it's like, dang, like you really like social media is really this is so fake. This is all fake. It's not real.
Yeah, if Twitter went down tomorrow permanently, like you'd have to go back to your regular life. Yeah. I just think that celebrities definitely are, and I don't again because there's always the people that try to defend them. Like you don't know what it's like. You don't know what it's like to have all these millions of people saying things about you.
Yeah,
100% true. I
get that because even when a few people be saying stuff, you see me, I'm ready to argue back, but I just feel like there's a difference. I feel like when you're at a certain level, people are saying certain stuff because that, like the bottom line is they're, I wouldn't say everybody's jealous by saying something, but
everybody's jealous.
The bottom line is you're living a dream. You're living the way that they all wish they could.
Yeah, no, it's a jealousy thing. It 100% is. Cause like, for me, it would be comical. Like I would literally sit laughing if I read some of the stuff that people say, and not that that money makes you above being criticized or critiqued, but like for most of the things that people criticize or critique, they would literally trade their lives for yours in 2 seconds.
Literally, like even like I made that tweet the other day, right? And the girl was like, "Oh, I hope you go broke one day." I literally went to her page and it was comical to me. I'm like, "Oh, no wonder you said that. Like, look at you." Like,
yeah,
she looked a mess.
Yeah,
raggedy house. Her finger. I don't know why her thumb was so stubby. It was like this wide. It was like this long. I was like, ew. No wonder why you said that. I'm like, keep hoping because I can start working today for like a few years and I'm fine. But okay. But yeah.
Yeah,
like, I would feel that same way. But then again, I get in the same like thought process though. Like you kind of want to be like they're just hating on you, but you kind of just want to shock them and be like, oh, you didn't think I was gonna respond. Like that's why I said I would do that here and there randomly to some trolls just to be funny.
I could never pull myself to do that because I'm so comfortable in where I am and what I accomplish and what I do and how my health is. I'm so like fine in myself that I know for a fact that people that use the internet like that aren't.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. That's what I'm saying.
That's good enough for me.
No, that's good enough for you. I agree. But that's why I said for me, it's like I'm fine too. But there's something that's so satisfying about replying sometimes, and this like knowing how you shock the person. Because you remember my argument. Every time I respond to people, like 80% of people don't respond back. It's like, oh, you didn't think I was gonna respond? Like you thought I was a punk. So it's just funny because like it's just comical because they never say nothing back. So for me, I just kind of laugh at it.
I never did that.
And sorry to interrupt, but I think people do that with celebrities because they don't think celebrities are gonna respond. It's like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna respond, and then they say something.
Aside from it just looking bad on my timeline, like I always like to keep my timeline look very crispy whenever I tweet. And I don't really like doing the replies and stuff like that. But aside from that, it's also like I almost feel like it validates the opinion of randoms, and I just don't like that. Like, because then to me, it makes it seem like the person's bothered.
Yeah.
And I'm never bothered. I promise you. That's why, like, even the negative comments we get here and there in our YouTube, I don't like replying to them because it makes it seem like I'm bothered. But like, I promise you, on God, I'm not ever bothered.
But I'm not either. And I feel like that whole, if someone's responding, they're bothered. Okay, I get that, but I feel like to an extent, not really. They might not be. How many times I've responded to people on the YouTube and like I just responded and went about my day. Like even some comments that happen, I can't even tell you from the top of my head any of them because I moved on. Like I didn't care. I just wanted to respond because they didn't think I was gonna say something. And also it's kind of just like obviously like you said, deep down your life, everything. But at the same time, it's like you're not about to play me on a public platform and have other people like concluding something based off of your like projections. Like when people be trying to say stuff like about like, oh, the one girl, this is the only comment I do remember because it was recent. She was like, something about like, oh, do you guys have day jobs or like, or I don't know if you guys have day jobs. Something sarcastic. I'm like, you don't know if we had day jobs. Cardi, do you see this coat? Do you see this? Well, they can't see the apartment, so maybe that's why.
There's just an ugly ass blue.
No, yeah, you can't see like 12-foot ceilings. New York City. Please, don't ask me if I have a day job. $2,000 sneakers, but I only paid $180 for them. Don't ask me if I have a day job, cause now I have to say something. Now I gotta respond. You're not about to play with my money. That's one thing I don't do. I work way too hard. We work way too hard. You're not about to play with us.
I don't work hard.
We do.
It comes effortlessly, actually.
It does come effortlessly. It does.
But yeah.
So that's why like I do get it from a celebrity standpoint. Like sometimes you do gotta like be like that's if I was famous or rich, I swear to God, half of my responses would be like, "Bye, you're broke."
Nah, I see.
Get a life, you're broke. Go get a job, you're broke.
You see, literally the transition from me had never had a job until now where I'm at. The social media usage just continues to go into the ground.
Yeah, and you're that person, and I admire that. But I feel like for me, I would be that person too. Like I would be like Rihanna or Beyonce. But Rihanna and Beyonce have sometimes came out and snapped a little bit. They said, but you know how Beyonce does it in a way where she says stuff in her like interviews.
That's the thing. She
don't address nobody directly. Don't give them no free clout. She just says like generic stuff and she just makes jokes. She just laughs. Or like Jay-Z. Like we love how Jay-Z does it in his verses.
But that's the thing. They have music as like the outlet. Like
yeah, and they making money off of it.
And it sounds good. It sounds good when you sing. When you're singing it and rapping it, like it sounds good. I make beats. I don't rap, so I can never get that stuff off. So I just have to get it off privately.
But that's what I mean though. Even them getting off through their music, clear it's still like it bothers them.
Yeah, of course. And
that's what I'm saying. I don't think necessarily just because you address something is bothering you. You just want to say how you feel. You be like, nah, you're not about to play with me. Like, not like you're losing sleep. Like, ooh, they saying this about me. It's not like you're losing sleep. It's just say, nah, I gotta get this out here. Like, nah.
I feel like I would be so much different than that. Like, well, I know it's different when you're talking to randoms, but at least if it was like another celebrity talking to me, I would like go contact them
instead of like dissing them.
Yeah, I would be like, yo, I heard you said this. What did you mean by that? Or do you have time
that's what Kanye do.
Yeah, like, do you have time for a call? Like, why were you doing this whole, like why are you doing interviews talking about me?
And then you see them in the club, I feel like it's awkward. They just be looking at each other whispering.
Yeah, because I don't think
like, are we in high school?
I'm not tough. Like, I'm not a tough guy. But I'm also not afraid of anybody.
Yeah.
So I think that, for me, I don't even necessarily perceive that as being aggressive. I think that's just like, yo, I heard you were saying this. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
That's not even coming across as aggressive to me. That's just like, you doing interviews, you're saying, you're tweeting, you're saying these different things. Like, we could talk about it. Like,
yeah, like let's go. Sit down.
Why we being weird and sending shots over the internet? Like, it's weird. Like, we could sit down. If you want to beat me up, we could fight, and that's not a problem either. But if you're gonna have that sort of energy and you feel like you can say these things to a camera, then you can say it to me too. And we could be fine. And you could still have those opinions and we could still be fine. And we could still disagree and you could still not like me or whatever you said, you could still feel the same way. But if I say, yo, let's talk, and then you don't talk, then it's like, okay, then there's nothing to talk about.
Yeah.
And then don't say anything.
What they keep talking after that about you?
Then, I mean, I know you want to, the way you are, you want it to be like, God, I don't know how to explain this, but for me, I have the personal satisfaction of like, because I'm trying to say this without trying to sound like I'm dissing you, but basically for me is that like I know real life exists. So for me, it's perfectly fine if I'm like, yo, hit somebody that was talking crazy. I'm like, yo, let's go. Let's talk. You said all these different things. I just want to discuss whatever. And then they don't respond to that, but then keep talking. For me and my personal self, I'm like, okay, then there's nothing to talk about, and that's fine because now that's how you are as a person. So that's just how it's gonna be, and then that is where it can live and die with me. I don't then need to go on a platform and be like, oh, he's soft, he didn't reply to this, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna even do all that. Like it's okay because like okay, now I know who I'm dealing with. I know the character I'm dealing with. They're trying to say these different things, and I'm perfectly fine with that, and I won't lose sleep.
I feel like I get that, but I feel like in the world of like celebrity, sometimes you just have to address things. Like sometimes you have to be like, I did talk to him behind the scenes and he didn't respond, and that's it. You keep it like that.
You could, but there's a way to do it. The tweeting thing to me is not like.
Yeah, you don't gotta tweet about it. I would do it in an interview.
Yeah, give me an interview. Give me, because we don't, like I said, I don't rap, I don't sing, so I can't really get it off on a song. So just give me an interview.
Yeah, I do respect that. Like, I don't know, it's a hard thing because it's like, yeah, do an interview, but also like this is the world of social media, and imagine like Tupac or Biggie with Twitter. They might have been active, because it is the way to get your word out there nowadays. Like before, you had to rely on radio and press. Now you don't have to. You can just make a tweet, and now the Shade Room's gonna screenshot it and put it on their page.
Yeah.
So it's like a hard thing, but I get it.
I'm doing interviews because like when that Tyler versus DJ Khaled thing happened, and Tyler came out with the tweets like. He just came out with like randomly like quoting what Khaled said. Yeah. But then he did an interview after that. For me, I would have just did the interview.
Yeah, you.
And then explained it. Yeah. And even then, that's not even me explaining something. Isn't even like a diss or like that I'm necessarily bothered. If somebody asks me, I'm gonna answer it, but I'm not gonna go out my way to like retort and respond to everybody because it doesn't matter. Yeah. Like comments, they come and go. Like for me at least, if somebody says something negative to me, it comes and goes. Like it's not gonna bother me. Like. Criticism and critiquing and somebody say, hey, I think you can do this better. Even that I don't even necessarily pay attention to only because the things that you're critiquing and criticizing for me, like if it's a critique or criticism about like a song I made or like a YouTube video I made or anything like that, at the end of the day, I'm going to make what I want to make. So regardless of what anybody else says about me, I'm going to still continue to do what I do. Like I know that you can take different opinions and then it could make your art end up being better. Yeah. But for me, at the same time, it's like, don't tell me how to make my art, no matter what the art form is. Don't tell me about my podcast. Don't tell me how I'm performing on here. Don't tell me about my music. Don't tell me about anything because I don't care.
What about constructive criticism?
No, don't tell me. Because I know those things are important. And I know I sound like I'm saying nobody can say anything to me, but still, at the end of the day, I'm going to make the things that I want to make because you critiquing me and saying, oh, I think you should have done this is you putting your preferences about how I should make what I want to make. And to me, for certain things like that, it's like I'm making what I want to make. So I don't really care.
It's like you make it then.
Yeah, you go make your music then. Yeah. But yeah, I deal with criticism in like a different kind of way. Yeah.
I deal with it in the way of like, you can talk crazy, but certain things I gotta address. Cause there's like even with the comment I made on Twitter and everybody responded to me, I didn't respond to everybody. I was like, okay, whatever, fine, true. But then some people I was like, nah, you talking about you hoping I go broke? Nah, I'm about to respond to that, cause that's never gonna happen. And I know that's maybe cocky to say, cause life could humble you. I just feel like I'm way too prepared to be humbled, but let me knock on wood. God forbid.
That statement might come back and get you.
It might. And if it does, then I'll accept that. That's the thing. I hate when people try to put stuff on you and then, like, if it happens to me, I'm not going to be sad or shocked. I'm like, all right, this is life. This happened. Like, I'll accept that. People really be trying to put weird stuff on you and then thinking that you're going to be hurt and upset when it happens. It's like, nah, I'm fine with things happening. But, like, that's why I'm saying, like, my critique about stuff is not about... Like, that's how I had to explain online, like on Twitter. My critique when it comes to like money and stuff is not about people who are really struggling. It's not about dire situations. My critique, anytime I say anything about money, whether it's about what you should do with it, how you shouldn't have this much money in your account, how you shouldn't be begging people for money, that criticism is all the people who were as privileged as us. grew up in
but you got
upper middle class neighborhoods, got jobs, but spend their money going out to eat every single night. But now you need money to borrow money from me. Why? You go out to eat every night.
Yeah, but that's such a specific stance. You can't just have that in your mind that that's what you're trying to say and expect a bunch of random people.
Well, yeah, of course not. But it's like, but why should they why should they jump to conclusions too? What I'm saying, like,
because that's what you said.
No, it's not what I said.
It's the same thing as like the Kim Kardashian thing. Like, she can't get mad at people.
Kim Kardashian said, "My advice to women in business." I'm still standing by that to this day. She said that. So the second that she said my advice to women in business, everybody else should have not been offended who's not a woman.
Okay, we'll use your specific thing then. You did not explicitly say, I'm talking about this specific group. So if people interpret that however they want, that's your fault.
But my response was to the main tweet. The main tweet was about women needing to borrow money when they have a husband. So I'm talking about, like, I don't know. Like, that was kind of just like going off of her tweet. I'm like, anybody who needs to borrow $50 in general needs to reevaluate their life. Like, I'm going based off that tweet. It wasn't me talking about people who are like vets. Anybody, like, I'm going based off this girl's tweet where she was shaming men. She was shaming husbands that don't have money to give their wives, basically. So I'm shaming the wife needing to borrow 50. Because, like, you want to shame the husband. Why the wife need to borrow it? She should have money. Why she gotta borrow it? You know, you shaming the husband for not having $50, but you're not shaming the wife. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, well, let's shame the wife too. That's basically what that tweet meant. But everybody took it as, oh my God, I spent $8,000 on my son's COVID. Whoa. I'm not talking about your situation. Like, everybody just wants to be offended and they want to interpret a tweet the way. And I get that. That's why Twitter is an annoying place. Social media in general is annoying because people will take broad statements and then shape it to what they would think you meant. And then all of a sudden now they have a whole circle of who they think you are and your personality and your morals. I'm like, you don't know me. You judging me off 100 characters? That's insanity. That's literally insanity. So when that girl said, I hope you go broke, I had to respond because it's like, keep hoping, stubby fingers, keep hoping because that's not going to happen. Knock on wood. If it does, like I said, if it does happen, it will happen. But I just know.
No, you would be sick.
I would be sick, yeah. But you know, it'll probably be funny, but I'm still going to stand by my statement and say that I'm confident in my money saving and investing. Like, no, of course that happens. Enron, clearly those niggas went to work every day thinking their money was good. And then
you might have some health thing happen. You got paid. All the stuff that them people were saying in them tweets. That's why I don't say nothing.
Yeah, but that's what workers' comp is for. So life insurance is for. There's a whole bunch of stuff that insurance. People don't pay for insurance. That's why they post GoFundMe links. People don't invest in insurance. The act of insuring yourself in those situations. That's why workers' comp exists. Disability exists. All those stuff exists for a reason. People don't think that stuff is going to happen. They don't prepare for it. But I'm preparing for it.
Them disability checks ain't hitting. They ain't hitting like the regular salary checks.
God forbid something happens to me. I have at least like probably 2 years of not having to work, and I'm fine with all the money that's in different places. If I can't get myself together in 2 years, that's just on me.
Yeah, that's why I prefer just to not say anything.
I don't believe in all that. Let them people rock. Yeah. The bottom line is I don't have to respond to that tweet in the first place. I get that.
Yeah. That part.
But I'm allowed to speak my mind and criticize. Because this girl, how you gonna criticize the husband? I can't criticize you. Like, you talking about, oh, if you need money, you need to borrow from your husband. Girl, you shouldn't need to borrow money from your husband anyway. Why are you broke? Like, it's just, I just like to call people out on their double standards. Because how you gonna criticize the man, but not criticize the woman?